Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about how the MCU will handle the Punisher. Now, last week there was that big breaking news of Jon Bernthal coming back in Daredevil, which that might be a side topic to talk about because there was some other news about Daredevil. It's minor. Seems like either they're gonna recast Foggy and Foggy Nelson, goddamn, who was her name? And Karen Page, or they're not gonna be in the show for this season. We don't know yet, but after another bit of news that they recast Vanessa, the actress who played Vanessa, it does seem like there's a chance that they might recast those two actors as well. We don't know. We have to wait to see. But one of the big shockers, and I will tell you, I was a bit surprised, especially after some comments made by the actor who played the Punisher. You kind of had, you know, feelings like he may not want to come back and do this. Like the Punisher was such a violent show, and it was such a hardcore show. Like, it wasn't all action all the time, but the Punisher was pretty heavy. It was pretty heavy with the violence. It was pretty heavy with the action. And I definitely remember Jon Bernthal not that long ago when they would ask him about him coming back to play the Punisher, as they asked all these actors, especially when the Netflix shows got canceled, would he come back? And many times he said unless he could be the same level of violence of the Punisher he played in his show, that he wouldn't do it. So it lends the question, what's the sell pitch here? Now a lot of people think because Jon Bernthal's included being brought back to play the Punisher in this show is an indicator that this show is going to be a little bit more hardcore and R-rated. But I go back to every quote. If you just listen to every single quote that Charlie Cox has said about the show, about his expectations of the show. I mean, even before the show was announced, even before Charlie Cox had ever showed up in She-Hulk or Spider-Man No Way Home, he would say things that indicate that this version of Daredevil is not only kind of a soft reboot, but it won't be the same. It won't lean into some of the same things that the old show did, where the old show kind of leaned into the violence, the darkness, the more mature nature of it. It does seem like this show, while it may be a bit more on the mature side, it still might be a bit more mature. While it might be a bit more mature, while it might have its dark moments, it won't be pure darkness. I mean, you can go back and just look at his fucking yellow and red costume to kind of give you an indicator of how they want to go about it. Even going as far as to see his new, more CGI-like acrobatic antics to show what kind of version of Daredevil this is going to be. This is not going to be the same grounded Daredevil. And if Daredevil and Kingpin are any indication, which Kingpin isn't the same grounded Kingpin, Wilson Fisk was wearing tailored suits and, you know, and like it was all pared down. Now, we all wanted him to wear the white suit with the fucking purple. Like, we all wanted that, to see him with the cane, but he never did that because it was more down to earth and, you know, more realistic. Whereas this version of Wilson Fisk, I mean, he's wearing, you know, all kinds of outlandish outfits, and he's fucking superhumanly strong as well. So, like, they are clearly pushing it to be more comic booky. So I can only imagine this version of the Punisher is gonna be a bit more comic booky. And not Punisher, maybe not Punisher Max, but like, if you've ever read a comic book where the Punisher's in it, if you've ever watched a show, the Spider-Man show, the 90s Spider-Man show, when the Punisher pops up, like, he can fucking he can go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. Like, the Punisher can go toe-to-toe with actual superheroes. So I imagine that they're going to boost Frank Castle up. He is going to be, like, he is going to be next level. He's going to be an expert. Not to say he wasn't in his show in the Daredevil show, but it was more grounded, you know, like, you know, him getting captured and tortured, and, you know, him getting his ass whooped, and, you know, I mean, like, not that he wasn't murdering people left and right, but it was different. Now, I think they're gonna make him, like, super Punisher. Like, he's gonna be some sick combination of, like, he's basically gonna be sort of like Clint Barton's Ronin. You know when Clint Barton's Ronin was just clearing out entire Yakuza organizations? Like that's gonna be this Punisher. And I think the actual violence of showing him shoot people isn't actually that big of a deal. I mean, the MCU has had people shooting people for years. Bucky shot people. Scarlet Witch. Black Widow shoots people. The entire Black Widow organization shoots people. You know, I hate to break it to people, but I once watched Bucky front kick a guy into a jet engine. So, you know, the MCU can get pretty violent when it wants to. Okay, there were some scenes in Werewolf by Night that were pretty fucking violent. You know what I mean? Like, so it can get violent when it needs to get violent. So I don't think that that's going to be a problem. The problem's going to be is they're not going to be able to show the gore, the bloodiness of it all. Like, there are going to be a lot of cutaways of Frank shooting someone and cutting away from it. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a lot like, you know, like Winter Soldier, where people were getting shot. I mean, hell, Sam Wilson was shooting people. But, like, it's not that big of a deal because, like, they don't linger on it. They shoot them, they're down, we understand they're dead. We understand they're dead, but, like, they don't linger on it. There ain't no blood leaking out. And I think that's how they're going to handle Frank. They're going to have him still be more, he's still going to be a badass. They're just not going to linger on the kills and stuff. They're not going to linger on the kills. He's going to shoot someone, move on, shoot someone, move on, shoot someone. More, maybe Mission Impossible level of violence in that kind of way. You know, where, like I say, there are a lot of PG-13 action movies where people are getting shot and whatnot. And it's not, like I say, the way you get around it is by not lingering on it, by not, you know, showing the blood and the guts of it all. And I think that's how they're going to handle him. Also, I don't think he's going to be in the show very much. Daredevil's going to be about, what is that, like 18 episodes or some shit? I guarantee you he's going to only pop up for a short time in a small arc in a certain sequence, and he might pop back up in the end. But he'll probably be in 1 or 2, maybe 3 episodes max. So it's not going to have to dwell on him anyways. So there's no need to really think too hard about that. Though it is still cool that we have Jon Bernthal, the best actor to play the Punisher to date, because he did add a lot more nuance to this character than it had ever been given to the Punisher. A character who, just like the Hulk, most people think can only be used, at least effectively, as a character to play off other characters. And I do think that the Punisher is, as a character in the Marvel Universe, not even the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Universe has a beautiful purpose as a almost cautionary / line tale, but to, like, for all superheroes in the world to understand that that it's easy to become Frank Castle, that if you go, that it's easy to go down the dark path that Frank's going down, and that's why we don't go too far, because you can end up like Frank. Like, he's this cautionary tale, and it's cool to have him in the MCU. I mean, the MCU, there's some pretty, you know, there's some killers in the MCU too, but, like, it is still cool to have him in the MCU, where if you know, have more characters who don't really kill people, you know, have a character who represents the ultimate, you know, the line being crossed. He literally represents the line the superheroes shouldn't cross, and going as far as he's going. So I like that. It's good to have the Punisher in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm curious of how they're going to handle him. It's probably going to still piss people off, because people want to see that more violent version of the Punisher, and people have been chomping at the bit for Marvel to make more R-rated content. But I don't think they're going to do it, especially with Bob Iger back. They're not going to do that. So, more than likely, like I said, they're going to just boost him up a bit, make him more badass, make him more faster, more like, he's going to be like Winter Soldier, Black Widow-esque in the way he approaches things. And they're going to tone down, like, he's going to still be violent. They're just going to tone down the blood and the guts and how they approach it. And I don't even think he's going to be in the show very long anyways. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. That is how I think they're going to handle the Punisher. How do you think the MCU is going to handle Punisher in this Disney Plus show? Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.